Welcome to the Lovetarian Way podcast, where we interview magical creators and creatresses focused on bringing win-win-win solutions the Lovetarian way. Hello, beautiful Lovetarians. This is Natalia PH with Summer Conversations, Season 2 of the Lovetarian Way podcast. And do we have a treat for you today? We'll talk about not only the 4 pillars of the Lovetarian Way, but also Mayan astrology. So we have not had a guest like this yet, and this is a fascinating topic. So I'm going to bring Chris Madden in just a few minutes. He is a Mayan astrologist. He is an expert in the topic. He's been studying the stuff and teaching the stuff for decades, and he's going to tell us all about it. But before that, let me explain a little bit about the Lovetarian way and the 4 pillars, and we'll see how this is all coming together. And little technical things here, because I will just want to know if there's anybody with us yet. Not yet, but as you're gathering, I would like to ask that you give StreamYard permission to please show your name, because if you're going to be making comments, we would love to know who we're speaking to. You can do it at any point. You don't need to do it even if you're watching replay, you can just put your name in the comment box. If you don't see the StreamYard text, sometimes people have difficulty finding it because it's somewhere hidden by the video. So to make it easier, if you're watching on Facebook for the first time, just when you make a comment, tell your name so we can address you by your name. That's what we would prefer. That would be really awesome. You're also watching on YouTube. You can comment there. If you have any questions, please ask, because we'll always be answering your questions. This video is going to be out there infinitely. Oh, there's someone with us here. Please tell us what your name is. I'm looking at the comments. Hello, Angel Messenger. Hi. If you'd like to tell your name, that would be really nice so everybody can know. Put it in the comment box. Great. So this is technicalities. We have a great transmission today. We will be talking about fascinating stuff. Looking forward to seeing it. Hello, Jill. Awesome. Yeah, this is a really great topic. I don't think we hear a lot about this Mayan astrology. We know about Mayans. We know about their history, but how this particularly can help us create our heaven on earth, I'm very interested to hear from Chris. And now the pillars, okay? Let's talk about the pillars, and then we'll put it all together with our guest, who is just about to go and join us in a few moments. Yes, so the 4 pillars of the Lovetarian way. It is a vision, it is a mission, it is my legacy of love, if you will. I started to receive those downloads, well, for many years, but the specific name, the Lovetarian way, actually came to me in 2020 after my 44th birthday. And I just knew in my heart that this is the answer to my prayers, to my questions that I was sending to this beautiful field, unified field. I was asking what it is that you want me to do, what it is that you want me to leave behind me once I'm gone. And one day, after a series of deep meditations, the words just came, the Lovetarian way, and I saw lots of beautiful things. Basically, I saw heaven on earth, my heaven, other people's heaven. I saw the connection between all things, and things just unfolded like that. If you would like to know more, please go to the lovetarianway.com. There's lots of videos when I'm talking about it. I'm not going to be taking time for that right now, but I just want to tell you that this was just a profound vision that came through my heart, and I just became nothing, no one, no thing, and I was floating in this beautiful field, and I just felt that the field that created us all, some people call it God, creatrix, creator, it's just pure love, and I am it, and it is me, and I am one with it. And as such, when I accepted this vision more and more and I lived my life, more guidance was coming. And the guidance then later was called the 4 pillars of the Lovetarian way. Those pillars are here to help every soul that wants to truly step into their power. Good morning, Anne. Welcome. Just talking about the 4 pillars of the Lovetarian way, and soon we're bringing our guest. So the 4 pillars, they are this guidance to assist any beautiful soul that is ready, that is courageous enough to really step into their power, the power of their light, the power of their soul, whatever word you want to use. the way I felt it, the way I experienced it, it was that I am an energy, quantum energy being that is having an experience at this moment in time in this body. And it is my job to, pillar one guides us, to take and accept 100% responsibility for my life, for the energies that I am, energies I'm taking in, energies I am exuding, right? So this was pillar one. Then pillar two talks to us about the connection between all things, and I'm sure we'll talk about it with Chris a lot, because from what I remember, this calendar is telling us as well, Mayan calendar, that we are all one. So we are all one, weaved into this field of this infinite field of possibilities, connected through energy that connects all things through time and space. So that was the guidance of pillar two, to always remember that connection and to act, to think, to be, and embrace the golden rule. So do not do unto others what you would have them do unto you. So basically, do not be an a-hole, right? Just choose to be a Lovetarian, choose to be a nice person, because it's actually quite pragmatic way of being, since this beautiful field connects us all and it actually mirrors everything that we truly are. So the whole thing about law of attraction, right? You attract that what you want. No, actually you attract that what you are. What you are. I am that I am, right? So if I am an a-hole, a lot of that will be mirrored back to me. If I am a Lovetarian, well, then my good comes to me from everywhere and everyone. And of course, here's the thing, right? 95% of our life is run by the subconscious mind that has been, programmed by the age of 7, right? So of course, the subconscious, unconscious within us, we need to bring into this conscious awareness of ours, and we need to become aware of it, because otherwise, if we're not aware, we will be acting like weirdos and we will not even know why, because it's been programmed into us, right? But that's another show. And if you want to know more, once again, thelovetarianway.com, please check the abundance of videos available there for you about that topic. Anne says that you will lay your sister to rest. Well, blessings on her way. She is, dare I say, she is with this field of oneness that is love. And may she rest in peace, or may she have an amazing journey. That is my blessing to her, right? And I hope that you can feel that, Anne. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing with us. I just had this beautiful feeling in my heart and I want to say something to you, wow, I've got like shivers everywhere. My grandpa, when I was 12 years old, that was my beloved grandpa. I was so really close to him. He passed on, and I didn't know he passed on. But the night before he passed on, he came to see me. His spirit came to see me. I smelled his cologne. I heard his words saying to me, I love you. And I was 12 years old then, so I was not awakened then. So I got freaked out. I got completely scared. Yet I felt his presence there. My heart was really connecting with him. And that's what I want to say. And that if you just feel love, if you drop your consciousness to your heart, you can truly be connected with that person, because love is the bridge that connects us all through time and space, as I did with my grandpa. And later on in my life, when I was an adult and I understood how things are connected, I had to forgive myself. Yeah, I had to forgive myself for saying no to my grandpa when I was 12 and he passed on and he came to say goodbye. He actually came to say, I love you. I will always love you. And everything is fine. I'm always here with you. So all you can't probably see it, but I have all the hair standing on my body now when I think about it, because I know he's with me. I know your sister is with you. You just need to feel her here, Whew. So thank you so much for letting me share. How appropriate with this pillar 2, we are one through time and space, and that is actually just an illusion, because in the quantum field of our mother, father, creatrix, creator, we always exist through time and space. And that brings me actually to pillar 3, where you are to live as though everything is a miracle. So whatever happens, remember that life is a miracle, death is a miracle, everything is a miracle. Everything comes and goes in waves of infinite flow. Well, we've got to be willing to upgrade our consciousness to that level of thinking. Otherwise, we will forever suffer. And maybe it's time for all of us, for humanity to transcend all suffering and just let it all go. How about that perspective? So please, everyone here, do your best to live as though everything is a miracle and embrace gratitude in your heart, because gratitude is transcendental. Gratitude, joy, love, right? And that brings us to pillar 4, which is encouraging us to embrace Lovetarian nourishment. So loving thoughts, loving feelings, loving words, breath. The moment you stop breathing, that's the primary Lovetarian nourishment in this body is breath. Because you stop breathing, you're done. You're done. You will utter your last breath, you're done, right? So conscious, deep, balanced, harmonized breaths to harmonize our hearts and our minds, to put us in harmony, to put us in coherence. That kind of breath for several minutes consciously will actually connect you with that beautiful field of everything, and it will take you in a space of no thing, nowhere, no nothing, where you can create any outcomes you want, when you can connect with anything you want through your beautiful imagination. Through your beautiful imagination. Einstein said, imagination is the preview of life's incoming attractions. Hint, right? Close your eyes, get in coherence between your heart and your mind, nourish your mind, nourish your body, nourish your soul, embrace loving thoughts, loving feelings, emotions, and boom, there you are, one with everything. All right. Oof, this could be all about pillars, but I'm going to now invite our guest who is going to help us understand how Mayan astrology and the pillars, they're actually very interconnected, and how all this can work together. So Chris, I'm going to bring him in now. Chris is a Mayan astrologist. He's been studying this for a very long time. He's a teacher in Hiroshima, Japan. How exciting is that? He's a dad, he's a husband, he was a DJ. And actually, during those DJing times in the 90s, he got to know to the Mayan calendar, and then he dove right into it, and he had a vision. He had a vision and a download, which he's going to talk all about. So now, without further ado, our guest, Chris Madden. Hello. I'm going to unmute you. So, Chris Madden, Hiroshima, tell us the deal. What's the story with you and the Mayas?
Well, you touched on it there. Back in 1998, while I was DJing as a hobby in Vancouver, someone said to me, "Hey, why don't you come to my house on Saturday? There's a workshop about the Mayan calendar." And I was like, "Okay, sure." He was another DJ, and I went to his house, and there was about 20 people. And this man and woman just did like a 6-hour workshop, and you know, basically blown away. The Mayan calendar is multidimensional,
Yeah.
and it is really actually part of human DNA, which
Yeah.
is so interesting and so unique. There's no other calendar like it in the world. Um, and so then I started doing it for other people, doing little workshops, doing one-on-ones. And then about 3 years later, I met a Japanese woman,
Yeah.
and she and I fell in love the night we met. And
Oh,
yeah, and I'm married to her now still.
well,
That was
congratulations.
yeah, that was 20. Yeah, we met in 2001, so
Right.
21 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2 years of living together in Vancouver, we moved to Japan, and I
Mm-hmm.
started teaching English here, which I'm still doing. And so, we got married and had children, and I got my master's degree, and everything was very busy with that. So the Maya really moved into the background. And I would really only check the calendar like if I was flying back to Canada or people's birthdays. And it was really, back burner sort of thing. And then, the life happens, and I started to get back into it when my children were a little older. Now they're almost 17 and just turned 14. So
Ooh, teenagers.
yeah, very right in the middle of that teenage experience, and it's lovely. They're wonderful kids.
Mhm.
I joke with my friends that now it's like I have two roommates who
All
don't
right.
want to do the dishes, they don't want to clean up their laundry, etc. But I love them dearly, and they love me too. So it's good. And
Awesome.
now, I started studying more deeply about 5 years ago, and there's another layer to it. First of all, I'll just give a little
Perfect. Tell us. Yeah.
here. Yeah, basically, this is the Mayan calendar, not the
Mhm.
inside part. This symbol is, oops, I'm reversed
Yes,
image
I
here.
see. I see.
The symbol is called the Hunab Ku, and it's actually basically
Yes, we see.
what Maya would call God. They call the Hunab. You're supposed to make a
Cool.
stopgap. Hunab Ku
Yeah.
is the one and only giver of movement and measure. So everything that's in movement and measure actually means cognition, understanding, awareness. So it's, we all know now that everything is spiraling. The whole omniverse is spiraling, and each universe is spiraling. And so, anyway, other than the Hunab Ku, we have 20 glyphs
Yeah.
and 13 tones. So everybody on their birthday, on the day you're born, you are a glyph and a tone. And the
All
tones
right.
are numbers from 1 to 13.
Yeah.
There's 20 glyphs. And if you'll notice, there's 4 colors. So there's
Yeah.
4 colors and 4 directions, and the 4 elements, the 4 seasons, and
Mhm.
the 4 bodies of, we call them the bodies. And this is the physical body and the spiritual body and the emotional body and the thinking body or the mental body. And so the 4 pillars is deeply a part of the Mayan calendar. Now, everyone is a glyph and a tone, but on a deeper level, we all have 4 guides
Uh-huh.
also, who are also glyphs and tones. And that actually reminds me, what I would like to do is, before we get any further, is a little.
Yeah, invocation. Yeah.
Yes, I want to make a little prayer to the Mayan 7 directions. So I've got a candle here I will light. And when I light this candle, I'm entering ceremony.
And why is that important in this aspect?
Well, it makes things sacred. It's like a statement to the universe that what I'm doing now is sacred and holy. And I do this every time I do a reading for a new client,
Mm-hmm.
dripping the wax here, and my fan is blowing the candle a little bit. I do the same ceremony basically, just to make things sacred, and it's more for me to get grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And I burned some sage that I
Mm-hmm.
got, a friend sent me from Vancouver last year.
And
And
you've got feathers.
the sage is the element of earth. So when I'm burning the sage, I'm saying thank you to the elements of the earth. And that is the 5 red signs. So I say thank you to Imish sunrise. Thank you to Chikchan the serpent. Thank you to Muluk offering. Thank you to Ben the corn. And thank you to Kaban, Gaia herself. And I blow the smoke, the incense, the sage with my eagle feather. And I say thank you to the 5 white signs. And this is Ik, breath, and Kimi, reincarnation, and Oak, the dog, and Ish, jaguar shaman, and Etsnab, the white obsidian mirror. And I take water, which I collected on the full moon from a sacred river here in Hiroshima. And I say thank you to all the blue signs, and that is Akbal, dusk, and Manik, the deer, and Chuen, the monkey, and Men, the eagle. And thank you to Kawak, the rainstorm. And I say thank you to the fire, element of fire. And the yellow signs, which is Kan, the seed, Lamat, the star, and they are both star seeds. And thank you to Eb, the traveler, and Eb, the wise one. And thank you to Ahau, the solar chief. And we give thanks. We feel this thanks in our heart chakra. And we send a green cord down into the center of the earth, the heart crystal core, where Goddess Sophia Gaia receives it. And from our heart chakra, we send a green beam of light up into the center of the universe, where the Hunab Ku receives it. They send back their beams of love and light, unconditional love and universal wisdom to our heart chakra. And we give thanks. I also do that every morning.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So there. Now
I
we're
love
more sacred than we were 5 minutes ago.
So all those glyphs you honored, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
There's 5 of each. So 5 times 4 is 20.
yeah. Okay, perfect. So now do you want to tell us how being born on a certain date? I mean,
Right.
I was very like, ooh, I'm a sun goddess, like amazing. And I'm glyph toned, glyph that and toned that, how amazing. And it was like
Yes, yes,
amazing
yes.
reading, right? But then there's how many hundreds of thousands of people that are born on the same day?
I forget the number, but it's pretty high. Well, here's the cool thing about the Mayan calendar. You can see it in the circular form and also in the grid form.
Yeah.
So it looks like this. And you are the 260th day. Oops, yeah. Which is the 13th tone and the 20th glyph. So that is all about completion and transcension and cosmic consciousness. It's really a very high vibration sign. And you're actually, I've done maybe 2,000 of these. You're one of the very few people whose astrology I've done who is the Transcending Sun-Goddess.
Not a small order. Well, thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah, you've got a lot to live up to, but you are, I know, up to the task.
Thank you. But could you then make some parallels for people? If you have any questions, please ask in the comment box. But then, so
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, how does that? So I have certain path, right?
Right.
There's yeah, and then so how are my so 100% responsibility conscious
Yes, yes.
creatrix? How is
Right.
that following into that chart?
Okay, well, each tone of the numbers, they're like tones, and this is another way to see the tones. They are circular, but it's also on this type of a flow. And so therefore, someone who is born on tone 13 has a different vibration than someone born on tone 12, et cetera, et cetera. And there are qualities. It's much like being a Libra with all the positions. I don't know Western astrology very well, but every the interesting thing to me about this system in particular is that every day it changes. So in Western astrology, there's everyone in July who is this, or not actually in July, but from the 21st to the 21st is about the average date, the the signs change. And in this system, every day it changes. And it's on the 260-day repeating cycle, but it's also that 13 days. So every 13 days, someone is going to be tone 1, and the next day, someone is tone 2, and everyone 13 days after that and before that is tone 2. And the same with the glyphs. Every 20 days, your glyph will come up again.
Yes.
Today, for example, is tone 5, and we think of the tones like the dot is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. And it is the glyph is the white obsidian mirror, and it's also the obsidian knife. It's a very high energy glyph, and it's the 18th glyph. So your glyph will come around 2 days from now, but not your tone, because your tone is every 260 days with that glyph. It's a little bit complicated, but
No, but I mean, simplify it. So what does that mean? Will that energy influence me? Will it influence me regardless of my conscious
absolutely.
will, or how is that?
Well, I cannot say that. And in fact, I would say that no, it would not in particular. This
Good.
is a system. Yeah, you have to be aware of it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
enact it, to embody it. And so every day, every tone 13 that comes around, that's like 2 hands and 3 dots. If you are aware of it and you know, okay, today is about transcension, it's about cosmic consciousness, then you're going to go live your day according to that vibration. And then every 20 days, your glyph will come around. And you know, that's about the ancestors, and it's about being a leader and even a hunter. Your glyph is like a tribal mask, and the mouth is blowing. It's a blowgun hunter. You know, there's a high energy, go out and bring back the, you know, the deer for your family to eat, for example, right?
Yeah.
So if you're aware of these things, then yes, of course, it's going to give you more energy. If you'd never heard of it, you wouldn't have that consciousness or awareness. So it's really about awareness,
Yeah.
definitely.
So how could it assist us in co-creating our heaven on earth? Like, how not to be a slave to it, but it actually empower yourself with it.
Sure. Well, the most famous Mayan saying is Een Laq, a.k.a, and that means I am another you. You are another me. We are one consciousness. So, yes, I was born on a certain day and I have certain qualities, but every day is a new day, and we all have to live according to the energies that we put out into the world. And certainly, some energies are coming to us from the heavens, if you will. And, you know, people who follow Vedic astrology wake up and they understand that today is this type of energy. And of course, Western astrology and Chinese astrology too. I think they all have their place. And I think we should really check them all out and see which one resonates the most. I know, for example, I'm a monkey on I'm a wood monkey. There's the 5 elements there. And that feels right to me. I'm also a Capricorn, so there's definitely some connection, I believe. And then on the Mayan system, I'm an eagle, a blue eagle, and my tone is tone 7. And one of the energetic patterns of the tones is tone 7 people are like up here and they can see a 360-degree view.
Mhm.
So it's natural for tone 7 people to have a wider understanding than any other tone, perhaps.
Right. So it's like
So
natural
hanging on to
propensity.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, as we know, I mean, you're a teacher. You are a teacher. What do you teach now? Actually, you've been teaching for
Right.
a long time.
I've been teaching in Japan for about 18 years. And, you know, I teach English and I have many different leveled students. So one of the things I love about my job is the autonomy. First of all, I choose the textbook.
Mm.
I choose how I do my assessments. And my
Yeah.
students are in university, so they're 18, 19, 20. And like I said, various levels. I have some really low proficiency students who actually don't want to be studying English anymore.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then I've got some high level students who are taking an elective course. The one thing I do every year, though, is I teach all of them their Mayan astrology.
Okay. Yeah. I will hold on, Chris, because there are some
No,
questions. I
it's
will
not
show them to
questions
you in a
from
moment.
Jill.
Yeah, I'll show you the questions in a moment, but just finish your
Good.
thoughts. So, do
Right.
you use then in your teaching, you use the astrology to help your students?
I do. I spend one class per semester, and I tell them all their Mayan astrology, and I tell them that the basic connection with DNA and how we are all connected, and they learn um, their qualities of their glyph and their tone, and then we do a Q&A, and I put them in groups of like the same tone or the same glyph, or usually I have 25 students on average, so I would usually put all of the red glyphs together and put all of the white glyphs together for the final discussion after they've done a lot of translating. So yeah, that's fun. And I teach so many other types of things, but that's the one where I bring in the spirit side.
And did you find that it's helpful to your students when they apply it? Is it making it easier for them?
Right. Well, it's hard to say because I see them once a week for 90 minutes,
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah.
it's not really, we don't, I know a couple of students have thanked me for it a lot. The higher level ones, who actually grasp it, like their English is at high enough of a level to understand it, because it's very dense, very high content reading.
Yes, I know. I got mine. It's a lot, but it's
What I give them
interesting.
is about 10% of what I give you, but
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
still a lot for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yours, the one I do for my clients, is about 13 pages, and then there's the 52-page
We'll
workbooklets.
we'll talk about this process in a moment, but let's take some questions first.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's one for you. Can you read
Okay.
it?
Right. Jill, as we evolve and grow, how does that impact on an astrology reading, which tends to be done from our date of birth? As we get older, is it normal for the horoscope to perhaps not apply as much? That's a great question, Jill. The one thing about the Mayan astrology, the deeper level that I was taught about 4 years ago, is that we all have 4 guides. And the 4th guide, if you will, is called your future vision guide. And yes, it was anchored into your being on the day you were born, but it is the thing that's drawing you forward into your future. So the Maya say that as we age, we actually become our future vision guide.
Uh-huh.
So originally, for the first 13 years, especially, all we are is our glyph and tone. And then we start to bring in the divine feminine, the divine masculine around puberty. And then there's the past wisdom guide, which is informing us and also anchoring into our childhood, and our grandparents goes into this type of energy. But it's our future vision guide that is giving us hints, telling us if we live in that manner, we will therefore be creating our best possible future.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's not about the day you're born at all.
Oh, okay then.
I mean, it is, but it's got your whole future in there. So,
Yeah. Okay. So then, if Jill or anybody else would like to get a embodiment from you, what is it? How do you do it? And what do
right,
they get? And the process,
right.
please.
Um, I start with the birthday, and I go to a website that I've been using for over 20 years, and I put your birthday in there, and that tells me your glyph and your tone. It doesn't tell me the guides. But then I have my books and my charts, and I find out your guides. And then what I do for my clients is make this for them. So I show them their core self, their glyph and their tone. I customize this wheel for them. And of course, then their divine masculine, divine feminine, and the future and the past. And then I explain those basically. And that takes about 13 pages.
Yeah, and is there work for us to do? Well, there
It's
is.
dense. And see, what I do is before I start the charts, I ask my clients for at least 3 adjectives or, a couple sentences, a bit of a story. What are they looking for? What are they feeling is like a block, for example? Some people give me like a 3-minute voice memo, and some people write a little paragraph, and some people just say, hey, here's 3, go for it, 3 adjectives. And because with each glyph, there's about, let's just say 7 keywords, and each tone, there's about 7. And that could be a possible 49 combinations because I put the keyword and from the tone and the glyph together to make a phrase. And that helps explain the tone. So I'm not going to tell everyone 49 possible key phrases. I narrow it down to about 3 for each position, your core self. And from what they tell me, I can narrow down what the vibration was on the day they were born.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with their past and their future and their divine feminine, divine masculine.
Yes.
Yeah. So like for yourself, what was your experience of getting it? I know it's a lot to read, but how did you feel reading through it?
Oh, well, for me, it was like completely spot on. I saw my shadows, I saw the light, I saw the potential. And in fact, I got, of course, other astrological readings as well because I'm curious by nature. So
Right.
it was like, when I also asked you to get it, it came in a time where maybe if I received it a year ago, maybe I wouldn't be receptive. But when I received it, it was like, yeah, exactly perfect time to maybe help me go further and also reconfirm me in my truth that I know very much so.
Right.
So it's also quite interesting for me because when I do those things every time I allow my ego to get in the way of my path a little bit. And then I was like, oh, let's get a reading or something. And then I always
Right.
get a confirmation of my truth. So it
Sure.
was really
Excellent.
interesting, right? And
Yeah.
also to look at the shadows from my
I
parallel.
didn't mention that yet, so thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Each glyph and each tone also has shadow energies that if we are overly ego focused,
Yeah.
that's the energy that will be activating. And again, because of the qualities of them, this person born on a tone one day, I call it a mini Big Bang. It's like go, and it's this forceful energy. And so one of their shadow is incompletion or quitting, and then basic laziness. Like oh, not today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's different from the other tones because they have a different type of energy. So their shadow is different as well. So that's one of the things I've been having of really a lot of not success, but I would say a lot of breakthroughs with my clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's
Yeah.
in the same way because, for example, one of my clients was really having trouble with their divine masculine, their
Mhm.
sort of, their public face, they're going out and doing. So we didn't even look at the core self shadow work. We just focused on the divine masculine shadow work. And, she found it very helpful, very enlightening.
Yes.
And so there's those 5 positions. If someone's having trouble with their past, and like, who doesn't? you know, That's basically our childhood is where we're heaped with all
Yeah.
of our trauma, basically. Um, I really believe it's true that if we work on the shadow issues of your past wisdom guide, it's going to clear things up for you. So,
Oh, I know it did for me. And when I saw, so some
yeah.
of those shadows that were in my chart, they were already, I was pretty good, pretty enlightened on the in that area.
Sure,
Others were like, okay, good, good. There's still some lovely work to do. There's a lot of emotional addiction to that drama still.
sure, sure,
Need to
sure.
clean and clear. So this is a great introspective tool. Like, you
It's
get
very
this 30 pages, right? You have your little journal, and you get a post reading session with you, right, to go
yes,
deeper,
that's
and
true.
you
What
write. Yeah,
my reading includes is a one-on-one, either on Zoom or Facebook
yeah,
FaceTime if we're friends on Facebook, because to go through the shadow work is a little bit of an explanation, and I
yeah.
do explain it quite well in the work booklet, and there's a link to a video that I
Mhm.
made that explains it. But I think it's really appropriate to do one-on-one, so my
Yes,
readings include that.
yes, yes.
Um,
And it's
but
by the way very affordable. Like, you are charging like pay
yeah,
what you can. You have a range, right?
I have a range. Yes. I charge the very least I will do a work for someone is
I
$33.33.
mean,
And
like, people, that is just like nothing,
well,
honestly, for what you get.
but the funny little joke about that is because it's 20 plus 13 is
Mm.
33. And then so I double that. It's $33.30. So I don't mind. I will do that for someone. If they can't afford it
Yeah,
or
yeah.
much, I'll help it. And
Anybody
then
can afford this. I'm sorry. Anybody can
sure.
afford
Oh, I know,
this.
I know. And then we go up to $260 is
Yeah.
what I will charge for a combined reading for two people. That's
Hmm.
one of the cool things that you cannot do in any other astrological system is combine two people's birthday.
Yeah, you
And
did one for me and one for my husband,
I
so that
did, yeah.
was good. Yeah.
Um, it's really interesting that because we're all on this grid and it's all mathematical. So
Hmm.
if you are here and your husband is here, you can add that together and it comes out down here. And
Yeah.
then it's like a third entity.
Entity. Yeah. Hmm.
There's you, there's your husband, and then there's the two of you. And then
Absolutely.
so the each person relates to that spiritual entity in a different way. So it's quite complex, but so much fun.
Oh yeah. On that note, Jill has some follow-up stuff. Yeah, Jill,
Oh,
hold on, because
okay.
it's piling up. So there's one here.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, I'll read that. In Mayan astrology, which should you pay most attention to, the color or the galactic tone? I know that it is all relevant, but is one aspect stronger than another? No, they are exactly both equally powerful. They can't be separated. It's one system, you know. Um, every day is a glyph and a tone, so they are 50-50, 100-100. And some people also ask me, well, is with the guides, which one is more important? Well, they're all equally important because they all come with your core self.
Right.
So it's all the same system, and that's why it's a 13-page document, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of reading.
Yeah,
And
it
I
is.
also
Oh,
ask my
Chris,
clients, yes, go ahead.
no, I mean, we need to look at the business side of it. Your
Mm,
business guide is speaking. Look at this. She
right.
just wants to get a reading, and there's no
Okay.
option. Chris.
There's no option to pay. Well, okay. If you just message me, I will message you back, and I have a form that describes what I do, and it has my email address and my PayPal account.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it. I
What is
haven't.
your Chris, what is your Facebook?
Can I put that in the chat
Yeah,
here?
yeah, there's a chat, and then I'll show it. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I'll just link it in the chat. But it's Mayan.embodiment.astrology.
Yeah, that's the one I'm showing all the time. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
Jill went.
Okay,
So
good. I was quite busy this afternoon. I haven't been on Facebook today except for this morning, a couple hours, and that was about 9 hours ago. So I haven't
yeah.
been on, Jill. Sorry, but as soon as I'm done here, I'll go check out your message.
Yeah, I just
Now,
messaged
can you
him,
see that?
Jill.
I put that in the. Oh, did that go to private chat? Oh, I
Oh,
think I want.
you got it. You got it. I have it in a ticker. No, but I mean, Jill, we're friends, so it's worth it, because I also had astrology. I had a reading Jill did for me by with my guides, you know, with my angels, and that was 12 years ago. And you know
Oh,
how, not 12 years ago, 2012, ha. And now I
2012.
got yours. So how beautifully it is all coming together, you know,
Right. Yes,
through
yes,
time
yes.
and space. That is anyway an illusion. So I
Sure.
definitely recommend it.
But a persistent one.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
yes,
is
yes.
a very persistent one. Okay,
2012 is an interesting year.
so do you want to talk a little bit more about yeah, how this will empower people, why they need to do it, like
Right.
give them three thing. Oh, hold on, because Jill, I mean, it's a discussion between Chris and Jill. Why not? Sure, everybody else is shy,
Okay.
so
Sure,
she
sure, sure.
says.
All right. Okay, Jill. She says, I think I'm a galactic tone 9 and Tresenia sign of the seed. Excellent. There are a number of good websites out there that can help you. This is the one that I use all the time. I'm just going to put that in the chat. I'm not sure how can I add to the
There's a
chat?
private chat, but I can't.
I have to
Yeah, I
do it
have
in
to
the private
copy
chat.
what you will put
Okay,
it there.
here it is. Yeah, this is the website I use. Um,
Yeah.
I've been using it for over 20 years. It's lovely. Now, I will say, though, that my terminology is a little bit different from that website because I have studied every single book, every website available in English, and sort of synthesized and amalgamated and then um, used my intuition to try to get to the core of what the Maya actually intended. And,
Mm-hmm.
as a slight plug, I would say that there are two people on Earth who are very connected to the Pleiadians, and
Oh
the
yeah.
Maya themselves say that their calendar came from the Pleiades. And these two women have written books about the Pleiadians, and
Are you
I've
talking
done.
about the Polish lady Barbara
I'm talking
Marciniak?
about Barbara, yes, Barbara Hand Clow,
Mm-hmm.
and a woman called Eva Marquez.
Oh,
And
okay.
I've done readings for them. They've both written many books on the Pleiadians and the Maya. She wrote the Pleiadian Agenda,
Yeah, I
okay,
read it. Yeah,
in
yeah,
1995.
yeah.
And then she wrote numerous books on the Maya, and I have them all here. And Eva Marquez has written, I believe, 5 books on the Pleiadians.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll just read a little bit here I'll just read something Eva said. Thank you again for writing down my Mayan Embodiment Astrology. It deeply resonated with me and accuracy with my work and personality, and the past and future reading was mind-blowing. It also helped me to incorporate divine masculine and divine feminine. That is a huge part of my teaching too. And then
It's beneficial.
right. Yeah. So a really crucial message is that every human being has divine feminine and divine masculine qualities, and we need to bring them into our heart. And that's really what this represents. And the
Mhm.
Hunab Ku in the middle, we bring these energies in. I firmly believe that we as a soul are neither masculine nor feminine, but we are both. And I believe that the creator of everything is both also. Everything comes from the creator. And
Mhm.
that's part of the message that was kind of, I won't say destroyed, but certainly hidden
Mhm.
for the last couple thousand years by patriarchy. And,
Yeah.
basically we could sum it up with Catholicism, Christianity, and, even Islam. They're they don't support their women. Judaism too, you know. So it's a little bit touchy. It's a little bit of a nerve ending of an experience there. But I I am here on Earth to tell everyone that you are divine feminine and divine masculine. Everyone is.
Amen. Oh, hold on. Jill goes. Yes, mine
Jill.
and road.
Okay, road. So I call road traveler because that's what it means. The
Yeah.
Maya, they would say, yeah, road. Okay, that means you're walking on the road, and they all know that. A Western person, road, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm
Oh,
on the road.
bzz,
Sorry, beep that out. you know so some of these terms, you have to remember this was originally in Mayan and then translated into Spanish and then into English, and also there's regional differences. The calendar date remains the same all across the land of the Maya, but of course, just like accents in English change if you go from Ireland to Canada or west coast of anywhere. So there's differences in interpretation. So that's why I bought every book and looked at every website, and I amalgamated. I took some things that only showed up in one or two of the readings and I discarded them, and I enhanced some things. And road, I think, means traveler. It's not road like that you would drive on, but it's the journey, it's the traveler. So yeah, and then 9 I call patient. So I would call you, Jill, patient traveler.
Yeah, I know Jill for a while. Yeah, Jill, right?
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
So the thing about the traveler is it is also a yellow glyph. So
Oh,
it's quite
I'm also
similar.
yellow. Mm.
Yeah, it's going to have similarities to you. All the yellows are similar. All the reds are similar because it's the same element, the same direction.
It's possible
South.
that we've been friends for a long time because of the yellow connection. I
That's
put yellow on,
absolutely.
especially for you, Chris, today.
I see that. Yeah, and this is my white shirt. I mean, there's a little black in there too. That's for the mirror that is today.
Oh, well, she's laughing. Jill is laughing. She says, I'm the least
I'm the
patient.
least patient. Well, that's your shadow.
Something
Hello,
exactly.
shadow
Explain that.
side.
I was laughing. Yeah, can you actually explain the shadow here then
Yes.
with that comment? Because yeah, I'm laughing.
Well, very simply, the title of each glyph and tone, uh, you know, patient. Well, your shadow is being impatient.
There you go, right? The opposite, right?
And then there's a couple of others I could.
But
I
Jill,
don't know.
actually, I perceive you as such a temple of wisdom and patience and all of that. I know we all have all those moments, right? But I see, so maybe I see Jill's full potential.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
common of a person who is a tone 13 and the 20th glyph being
Me? Me?
solar. Yeah, that's very common for that.
Oh,
For those all people born on a tone 13 day, they have the perspective of the previous 12 tones.
yes.
Uh,
What is the calling? What did you mean? I missed that one. What is my, because I see you are like, so you mean like the vision? That I
well,
see.
understanding, it's more of a comprehension.
Mhm.
Now, I'll just go back to Jill a little bit here because we're
Hold on,
having.
because she says here. Mhm.
Yeah. So does the road explain why I never feel settled and that I don't fit in? You are on a journey, a sacred journey. The people born on that glyph are on a journey in life. Many of them live in different countries or different cities, and they don't feel settled. They like to have a backpack or a suitcase, or they like to keep moving. They like to keep talking about their spiritual journey. The word pilgrimage is one of the key code words, and they love to talk about their spiritual journey. And sometimes it's just about finding a perfect blouse at a lovely little store, or sometimes it's going to Egypt, or the Santiago, like the famous pilgrimage. But I'm not sure about fitting in. Um, I really, I would have to see if I do a reading for you, Jill, and you can tell me your, 3 keywords or some sentences, and then I can dig in more, find more about that. It's probably something to do with your past in general, or perhaps your masculine side, because the yellow glyphs are really, they're out there. They are connected to fire. so their energy goes out all of the time. And if you have, some shyness or something, then you're holding yourself back from your full potential. I
Mm.
know you, Jill, but at all. So
Well, you'll go deep with Chris. I recommend.
Mm.
All right, so now we're coming on 1 hour. Chris, three nuggets, golden nuggets for our audience. Weave the
Okay.
pillars, we'll weave the thing, and just give them the wisdom. Leave them with the wisdom.
Sure.
Wisdom
Well,
coming
again,
up.
I'll reiterate that every human being is divine feminine and divine masculine.
Yes.
Um, I love the pillar one of accepting 100% responsibility. And one of the things that the Maya believe is we choose our birthday. We choose the day we're
Right.
coming.
There you go. Wow, we did not talk about that. Exactly,
No,
right?
we
When you have
haven't.
a higher
so,
perspective.
so
Yeah.
that is accepting responsibility. I chose my glyph and tone, and therefore that's my part of my task or my
Mhm,
skills.
mhm.
And again, with your pillar two, the golden rule, that's really all about the Mayan Een Laq. I am another you, you are another me. So, we're working together. Um, I love your pillar three of living as a miracle. The Maya in particular are not afraid of death whatsoever. They worship it in a way. They've
Mhm.
had, it's called Dios de la Muertos, and the
Yeah.
Day of the Dead is a huge part of their culture. I was in Mexico for 7 months, and I was in a city, uh, San Cristobal de las Casas, up in the
Mhm.
mountains, the high mountains of the near the Yucatan in the Chiapas mountains on the Day of the Dead. And families gather in a graveyard. They bring blankets and they cook the food of their deceased relatives. They all
Yeah.
sit there for hours and drink and eat and talk about their relatives. It's such a beautiful thing. Um, so don't fear death, my friends. That's the last thing I'll tell you, because you can never die.
There you go.
You never die.
Energy can never be created, right? Or destroyed. It
Well, that's
changes
true.
shape.
Yeah, we only transform. The cool thing
Exactly.
is you can never die, and therefore you were never born. You did come into this body. Oh, yes, you did. And what I want to help you is to fully embody
Embody.
your soul in this body. Just be 100% of you. That's what I'm here to do.
I'm just gonna end with people. Let's not get hang on old stories.
Right.
Let's not get hang on old emotions because
Yep.
this is now the rebirth. This life is an opportunity to transcend all poop, right, Chris? All
Sure.
poop, golden
Absolutely.
age.
Yep. Yep.
We can
Especially now,
choose that.
we are co-creating this reality. We have, the World Wide Web and internet. We're all waking up to this. It's truly incredible. And we created it. This is God-sciousness, I call it.
Which will also allow us not to be judgmental butt heads, right?
That's it. No, we need to accept everyone as a reflection of ourselves, and we are all one. We really are all holy holograms of God-sciousness. That's what I feel.
That's a beautiful ending. Would you like to say your website? It's the Mayan Embodiment
Right now,
Astrology.
I
We have
am,
it coming. It's coming
yep,
here.
I am building the website. It is
Yeah.
mayanembodiment.com. There's a lot to get the birthdays translated in 260 different links. It's a lot of work, but
But
it's
all the information, your YouTube channel, this website, everything is going to be in the description. It's also in the comments. So if
great.
anybody really has this impulse, do not, if you have the impulse now to work with him, just go for it because it
I'm
is
pretty
really
easy to
great
find.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm not hiding. Hello, I'm right here, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Jill. Thank you, beautiful Anne. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Susan. Thank you all. You're shy people. They're watching in the shadows. The shadows. It's time to come out.
Yes, shine the light.
Shine the light. Yes, shine your brightest light. I'm going to end with that. So thank you, Chris. Namaste to you in
Namaste.
Hiroshima.
Namaste.
And well, before you go, I'm just going to say this was super, super awesome. This was exactly at the right time that it was to
Yeah,
be. It felt really powerful. Transmission was awesome. Angels really helped us to have a perfect transmission,
I
right?
got the hair
Me
standing
too.
up and going on there.
You know what? This is like an alignment between let thy will be done, let thy will be my will. It's
Right.
like, we align our wills and it just
Yes.
like boom, right?
Yes. Indeed.
Exactly. So I'll let you go. Mwah!
Okay.
Thank you so much. And I'll invite you, beautiful audience, to join me next week with Karima Card. We're going to go and do the healing. And we're going to talk about taking personal responsibility in your healing as well, because she's an
Yes.
amazing healer. She's got this talent and she's really gifted. However,
Awesome.
who is the healer? You, the healer.
Right.
Right.
I love it. These summer chats rock.
Right. All right. Cool, man. It's 101 and on 11111. Okay, I go.
All right.
Thank you. Hasta
This is
luego. Thank you all. Love you. Join us next
Namaste.
time. Find
Inakesh.
Chris. Thank you.
Bye-bye.